is poppin' squad? Your boy Jesimein. Today we're gonna be talking about the gear sets. Now I haven't covered these because they've been kind of like under the water compared to brand sets. Brand sets just do better all over the place, basic stat wise. But being that the raid's coming up and the new meta changes, I feel like gear sets may sneak into the meta and sneak into the optimal usage, especially with these upcoming patches. So we're gonna talk about True Patriot, Ongoing Directive, and Hardwired, as well as the new 3 Aces and Eights, Tip of the Spear, Negotiator's Dilemma. Now, starting with True Patriot gear set, I'm going to tell you off rip, I do not care about anything besides damage to armor and the debuffs. So the reason is because even though Protection of Elites is going to be good since NBCs are going to be weaker in this next patch, it's just a pointless thing to me. I can get that just from Survivalists and not even running anything on my gear. You get that, period. But it's still okay to have. I mean, it's still a buff. But damage to armor, since it's multiplicative, is going to be really good, obviously, on almost any DPS build, period. So having that is always good. Protection of Elites is, it's okay. Total armor is okay. It's good to have, but to me, I would rather have something different utility-wise. Since True Patriot is the defensive one, you're going to get all defensive mods anyways. And if you have total armor mods, you can kind of wipe this really quick. So that's just... in my opinion, I'd rather have things that I can't get in mods on my gear set, but this is still okay. Now, let's get to red, white, and blue. Now, red, white, and blue is really good. There's a tier in my head. I would say blue's number 1, red's number 2, white's number 3. Reason blue's the best, in my opinion, is because skill haste is extremely powerful on all builds. Being able, like, let's say you have a sport build player, you're playing a raid, your player went down, they put down their revive hive, it got broken. Being able to blue debuff something that can get their revive hive back, or whatever skill, right? So that's just really good, and it's for your whole team. So the downtime of skills are going to be cut in minuscules compared to not having the blue debuff. Having red is good too, because NPCs are actually potato in the next patch, since they're already weak. Having Protection of Elites plus red debuff is still going to be phenomenal. I mean, it's good. You get to be able to be way more tanky, especially since you're running a lot of armor anyways. If you're running True Patriot with the armor mods, you're going to be able to sustain a lot of damage, which gives you more time to put these debuffs. And the white debuff is okay. It restores armor per bullet. I'm okay with this. I wish it was something else, but I'm okay with it. I understand why they do it. But for me personally, I just don't see it outshining red or blue in any way. Full flag is good. It got a buff from what I remember, something like 50% damage. So it's okay to use. I would rather trade this for another piece of gear that has a skill and kind of get more bang for my buck, if that makes sense. Like, if I wanted to run ARs with this, I'd probably run an AR chest instead of running 6-piece and get 2 talents plus the AR damage. You feel me? There's just a lot of things better than having all 3 buffs, because these buffs are strong enough by themselves. They do fulfill a role, and I feel support players only need this. Full flag is if you want to focus an enemy, but by that time, it doesn't really matter since NBCs aren't that powerful anymore, period. I feel like it's probably better to have a 5-piece. So if I'm going to give True Patriot gear a role or a way to play, probably run it tanky as like a skill. So you're going to be a tanky support. Pretty much you're going to just soak up damage, try to flag everybody, put the colors on everybody. Your teammates aren't always going to be shooting at what you're shooting at, so it's better to paint everybody. Don't really worry about like focusing NPCs down. Being able to spread those buffs helps out your whole team, and you'll do way better as a unit. So that's True Patriot gear set. Moving on to Ongoing Directive, which is the baseline for most of my skill builds, and that's because you get utility mod slots, and you'll be able to get crazy amounts of skill power because of that. The 2 pieces weapon handling, which is interesting to me. That's very interesting for this kind of build. I would rather it be something like maybe cooldown reduction, probably be more realistic since it's a skill set. But it's okay to have weapon handling. It's really good if you're only using the 2-piece. That's just free 20%. Burn damage is and bleed damage is I'm not too worried about these two. I really don't see the difference. Maybe now that skills got a damage buff, maybe turrets or being able to do bleed damage would really do a difference. But as of right now, from what I see, I just don't see extreme need for that. But I do like emergency requisition. It's for lazy players that just don't move, I guess. If you want to hunker down and grab stuff, it's definitely an underpowered 5-piece in my opinion, because it doesn't do nothing really for you if you don't have drops on the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. what's cool is you get like a baby pulse that you probably don't even realize. And I'm pretty sure you put it on now. If you put on 5-piece and run around, you're gonna start noticing that pulse. And it's like having a pulse up every 30 seconds. So it's okay, but it's definitely not as strong as the 5-piece of the red, white, and blue. It definitely does more for the team. The right tool, kill weapon with kill with weapons. Cannot talk, bro. Kills with weapons to add a number of incinerate, shock, or explosive rounds to another random weapon slot. They changed this random and literally put all three. So you now, like, let's say you're using an AR as your main. There's a chance that you can get ammo into your main weapon, which is actually really cool. So this may be really interesting being used. The role of ongoing directive is very it's hard for me. I don't feel like you're contributing to the team necessarily, but you probably can if you're like getting enough shock ammo or flame bullets. You can be CC. I would see this as like a CC build. I would probably change this to duration and change this to duration. If it were me, right? Because you're able to get those incendiary grenades. I mean, not grenades, ammo, and maybe explosive rounds would make you bleed longer. Honestly, I would change. I would take off explosive round, make it incendiary shock to be OP, right? But I would change that to duration, then it would probably be good. But the role of the ongoing directive is pretty much the CC, in my opinion. That's just the best thing I can see putting out of it. And that's probably why you don't see it, because nobody really cares about that. There's a lot of other ways to combat the issue of not having to CC. So, yeah, that's that. Going to Hardwire, they did change. I don't know if they put skill damage. I don't know if it's the first one. I believe it is the first one. They changed it to skill damage. So Hardwire is definitely going to be the way to go if you want to do, like, I don't know, if you want to run something that does extreme amounts of damage in PvE. In PvP, I just don't see you running it. The role of it would be true CC, right? What I pinned on ongoing directive, it would be, but it's just tamper proof and feedback loop just don't feel like they're what they're supposed to do. So in my opinion, Hardwire is a very hard one for me. Literally hot, no pun intended. I do like that they changed it to skill damage. So I think it's 20% skill health, and they changed the shock duration to skill damage. So it could be a really good set if you're actually running utility skills outside of healing. Obviously, because skill health would go, there's nothing towards your chem launchers, or it doesn't really matter on your hive either way. So maybe if you want to run secret mines, you want to run drones, Hardwire is probably the way to go. The little CC you get from the shock is okay, but I mean, like if a heavy is running up to try to kick your turret, he's gonna get shocked and then just kick it anyways. So I just don't see. I don't know. That's hard. Feedback loop, kills with your skills, reset all skill cooldowns. Repairing a friendly from no armor resets all skill cooldowns, which is okay. That's good, but you would have to be running a heal version to restore them, which is not what you want to run with this. You rather run them ongoing directive, which means you get more skill power and be able to like kind of play around with that a lot more. But when a skill completes its cooldown or fully charges, you gain bonus skill and repair effectiveness with all skills. So this is just like I said, you can pretty much be like the engineer, go back and keep hitting your turret. Maybe if there's like a choke point in the raid or something that they have to come down one hallway or something, and it's like a defense type game mode or something, maybe it will be really, really good. But because NPCs move so freely, I just don't see it doing much. So the role I would give to this is pretty much dedicated skill, dedicated. I'm gonna have to say a fuse between CC and just griefing, like just griefing the NPCs with turrets and shock. So maybe that, I don't know, maybe that's that, but obviously it's a clear support role. So going down to aces and eights. So this is where the new gear sets are coming out. I hope this isn't true, because this is the same. Oh, dude, I don't know. You can really make a laser beam if you run 2-piece aces and 8, 2-piece ongoing directive. I hope that ongoing directive changed. I hope it changed. But you get 20% weapon handling from this too. You get 20% accuracy, 10% marksman rifle damage. So obviously, this is, I mean, it's a given what kind of build this is. A sharpshooter build. Marksman rifle damage, accuracy, and weapon handling. For you rifle players, for you snipers, this is definitely going to be your gear set if you're going to choose a gear set. Dead Man's Hand, flip a card by shooting an enemy with your marksman rifle. So it's marksman rifle. Make sure you know that. So obviously, full-fledged bolt action build, not necessarily rifle, unless you just, yeah, I mean, it's marksman rifle damage. So this is a sniper build. Full house refills your weapon, and stops ammo depletion for 10 seconds. I don't like that. Because you can only shoot, what, 3 times in 10 seconds? But I guess you just can spam your sniper rifle, okay? And you have weapon handling and accuracy, so maybe you be able to hit your shots. 4 of a kind grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Now, I like that. Even though you're a sniper, you're out the battle, so maybe not so much, but that's still a pretty hefty amount. Aces and Eights grants the next 5 bullets 100 damage. Now, if you can somehow get RNG and get that all the time, then this build will be worth it. But because you're going between 2 things that are pretty much useless, in my opinion, I just don't see this being used. But it's still a really good sniper build. 6, and let's see the 6 piece. Effects of Dead Man's Hand are applied to all party and raid members. Now that's sick. So I like this. The 6 piece makes this worth it. So you would have to run 6 piece. You get that's ultimate sniper support. You want to talk about sniper support build? Wait, what I'm over here. I'm over here circling her like she was the pitcher. So they don't have a pitcher here, but that's ultimate sniper support. So if you want to sit back and snipe and feel like you're contributing to your team, this is the build to run, because you're gonna get, like, if you accidentally give your teammates all 5 bullets, like let's say they're running, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's not like that much bullets, but it's still a big 100% damage boost. Like that's amazing. Plus this ammo depletion. Like let's say they're using ARs and they just get this and just get unlimited ammo for 10 seconds. That's sick. I like that. And then in situations you're pretty much like healing them for 10 seconds. So this is the best one so far I've seen. I think this is the best gear set in my opinion. This is actually, I like the 5 and 6 on this. That's super good support. So just like I said, dude, all the gear sets are support builds. It's looking like. And let's go down to tip of the spear. Okay, 20% pulse skill power, 20% cooldown reduction, 20% protection from elites. So already, I mean, and granted, I don't know what the mods are going to be. I would assume this is the all offense. This would have to be the all skill power, so all utility mods, which could be amazing because this 20% cooldown reduction is huge. And pulse skill power. So if you run a pulse build, you have to run this. Like that's an easy call. You know what I'm saying? Protection from elites. So obviously this is good. This is good. This is okay. Electromagnetic trigger. So obviously you need to be running crossbow. So this is the survivalist, which makes sense because you're gonna have ultimate protection from elites, right? You're gonna have your tree protection from elites plus this one, plus cooldown reduction and pulse skill power. I wish that I wish I could just erase pulse and just make it skill power, but that's okay. Crossbow bolts are equipped with proximity detonators on impact. Bolts trigger a 9 meter pulse. Okay. Interesting. I guess I'll have to see it in action. Aggressive recon. When killing an enemy, trigger a small pulse on the location, which is pretty cool. It's like pulse on kill. Party and raid members deal 20% extra damage to pulse targets. Sick. Now, what sucks is you have to kill an enemy, and if you're running pure skill, you don't have the DPS. So I don't know. Maybe you're gonna need a lot of team like synergy where somebody shoots it to one shot and then you finish them, and then you basically give everybody 20% extra damage depending on how long they're pulsed. So plus if you I guess you put in Wicked on that, you get a little top up. You know what I'm saying? You'd be able to do 30% damage. No, 40% damage on spotter. Interesting. So spotter, you can get 40% damage with this build. This may be a spotter build right here. Tip of the spotter build confirmed. So, and the next gear set requires So pretty much this is like crowd damage control. So you shoot into a crowd, kill the enemy, and then basically mark of death everybody around them for 20% extra damage and their pulse. So that's really good. And now let's go to the final one. This is the final one, right? Yeah, it's the final one. Negotiator's Dilemma. 10,000 armor on kill. That's actually good. That's really good. I mean, is it good? I don't know. I'll have to see it. 30% health. Oh my god. This has to be a demolitionist. I knew it. Jesus. You talk about health builds. That's a chunk. But, I mean, obviously you would have to give up. So, if you want to run, you know, I'm not even going to talk about that build. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to anyways, so you armor on kill, you get 30% health, which is huge. Explosive resistance, which is, unless there's explosion in the raid. Blowback. Launch a grenade at the target that depleted your armor. Can occur once every 3 seconds. What? That's cool. I gotta see the animation for that. So basically, anybody who depletes your armor gets hit with a nade. In PvP, if that grenade is an actual grenade, that's gonna be annoying, dude. Oh man. Plus you get armor on kill, which means think about this. So if they break your armor and you kill an enemy, you get your armor back, and that 3 seconds is up, you can keep doing that nade combo. Interesting. Press home the advantage. Explosion caused by the player stacks a bombardier buff. Each stack grants party and raid member 10% explosive damage and the player with 10% armor for 10 seconds. Now, how much stacks can you do? And it says explosions. So, hear me out. If you use the Merciless, which counts as explosion, you just spam Merciless and you get your bombardier buff. And you buffing your whole teammate's explosive damage plus yours. This is a really good. You're gonna see some nasty Merciless combos. I called it first, so don't copy me. Anyways, so you need Demolitionists to run this, which makes sense, which is what you want because you get explosive damage. I like this a lot. This is like freaking. This is making me excited for a Merciless build. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. What I would give this role, I mean, this is. Once again, like I said, they are all support. I found myself saying everyone is some kind of support. This is pure support because you're going to be doing this. This is the biggest part. Especially now, I wonder if you have like 2 people running this, like does it double stack? Because then you do some crazy Merciless damage, dude. Like you could do some probably over like 2 mils. So I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Like as far as all the gear sets, are they better than brand sets? No. But do they have roles? Yes. If I was to put these from best to worst, I like Tip of the Spear. So it would be Tip of the Spear, Ongoing Directive because of the skill power, Aces and Eights. No, Tip of the Spear, Negotiator's Dilemma. Wait, which one's Negotiator's Dilemma? Let me see, I forgot again. Was that the last one? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I personally like Negotiator's Dilemma, but I'll put that third. So I will go Tip of the Spear. Why do I keep saying Tip of the Spear, you guys? I'm tripping. No, I don't like Tip of the Spear. Yeah. So that's the third one. Okay. So I would go Negotiator's Dilemma being number 1 for me. Or maybe, since I'm a skill player, I'm going to say Ongoing Directive number 1, Negotiator's Dilemma number 2, Aces number 3, True Patriot for the buffs number 4, Hardwire number 5, Tip of the Spear last. Yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. Let me know how you guys will tally these sets. Yes, they all do different things. Obviously, I'm more biased towards skill power stuff, so that's why I have Ongoing Directive since that's the biggest skill power one. But I don't know, maybe if I get utility with this, 100%, this is going to be the best build for me, or best gear set, because I'll be able to give pulses without running pulse. I don't really care about the 5, I care about the 6. So I'll be ultimate support, right? I can run healer with this because I'll have cooldown reduction, and I'll be able to, because a lot of my skill power is taken by cooldown reduction. I won't have to run cooldown reduction on I wouldn't have to run skilled. I can run I wouldn't have to run whatever that haste is. I forgot what it's called, where I get skill haste. I can just run this and then run straight skill power, hit my skill power caps while being able to give a 20% extra damage with the pulse targets. So now, if my pulse counts towards this, then this will be the best support build. Because not only will you be a healer, I would run straight heals and pulse. So then you can give your teammates 20% extra damage. You'll have a 10-second pulse, and you could stack duration since you have cooldown reduction on top of it. So there's a lot to go out of it. So I'm most excited for Tip of the Spear. If it has utility slots, then it's busted. Now, I hope that this is all utility. I need to even go look at it. I believe it's on a PTS. I need to go check. If this has utility, then this is the best gear set, in my opinion, overall. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I don't want to, I took up too much of your time as is. But hopefully, if you guys wanted some insight on these builds, or not builds, but these sets, and you didn't have it, hopefully I achieved that today. Especially you newer players, because there's definitely going to be room for these in the upcoming meta, and how you come about it is going to make or break your kind of build. So it's been real. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Drop a like. Once again, I'm real curious. Do you guys agree with my tier list? So if this has utility, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Yeah. I'll put your Patriot last. Yeah, so let me know what y'all think. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Your boy is out.